Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rounds Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we're going to bring you the final matchup in the three-game set between the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters hosting the Orix Buffaloes. It was an entertaining affair last night as the Buffaloes were able to edge the fighters 5-4. What was unique about that game last night, it was the first time in NPB history that a team was able to score 4 runs in a game or more on the benefit of only one hit. The fighters were kept in check last night by a collection of Buffalo's pitchers, but it was only one hit, and that was a double by Ariel Martinez in the 5th inning that brought home a run that allowed them to be able to take that there. So we have our friends in the house tonight already. It is Chris and Fox 12 and Zay. We appreciate you guys being here. It is weird that DraftKings not giving them their stuff here tonight, but that is okay. If you're here just to listen in, we're glad with you as well. Some of the fellas are saying it is a bit of a struggle tonight. They weren't getting odds. Depends on what you're looking at. We were able to see on our provider that they were doing it tonight, so we were up to speed on this. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineup for the visitors from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off tonight and playing in center field is number 0, Haruto Watanabe. Hitting second and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Hitting third and left field is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 40, Leandro Cedeno. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting sixth in right field is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting seventh and in doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. Hitting eighth and playing second base is number 8, Marwin Gonzalez. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is number 24, Kataro Kirbiashi. And they're going to be facing the right-hander Koki Kitayama, who takes to the hill tonight for the fighters. Kitayama in this one, the right-hander, is making his 4th start in the month of April. He has been fairly effective so far to this point. We'll get you his stats in just a little bit. But the starting lineup for the fighters is going to be leading off and playing third base tonight, Yuya Gunji. Batting second in playing center field is number 7, Go Matsumoto. Hitting third and right field is number 66, Chusei Manami. Batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 2, Ariel Martinez. Batting fifth and doing the catching is number 64, Yua Tamiya. Batting in the 6th spot, doing the designated hitting tonight is Franmil Reyes. Playing shortstop and batting 7th is number 43, Katsuki Mizuno. Batting 8th and playing second is number 58, Taiki Narama. And batting 9th in left field is number 50, Ryota Isabata. And they are going to be facing Ryuhei Sotani, who brings a 1-1 record to the hill with 8 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 11 so far this year, and he's got an earned run average of 4.50. Well, those are your lineups, and we're ready to get this one underway as Haruto Watanabe is stepping to the plate. He is 0 for 11 this year. He is looking for his first hit of the 2024 campaign. And the first pitch is delivered. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and we are underway at 1:01 local time in Japan. Fastball swung on, and that's fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. Some of our friends in the chat were saying that DraftKings had no option to put anything down on this particular game, as did Fox 12 say that as well. That's unfortunate for those people who do come in and listen in for that stuff. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Watanabe watched that one go right down the heart of the plate, and he is gone for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Yuma Mune. As Zay says, it's up and down on DraftKings. Our friend Troy in the house. And the first pitch delivered to Mune is a fastball swung on. And check that. I have to rerun that for you here in just a second. Troy in the house tonight. We welcome you. It's been great. Glad to have you in here tonight. And the first pitch to Mooney, as we said, fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mooney. Buffaloes last night with that 5-4 victory for called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Mooney. With that victory for them last night, it has pushed them back into the 3rd spot, or solidified them in the 3rd spot. Fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. Fighters are 3.5 back of the Hawks, as everybody is in action tonight. Buffaloes have played the most games in the Pacific League and also tied for the most games in all of the NPB at 26. They're nestled in at one game above the 500 mark. Kitayama kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count runs to 2-2 on Mune. Mune did not get the start in last night's ball game. He came off the bench. And he and both Kotaro Kobayashi really solidified the defense and were able to contribute offensively at the back end of the ball game. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball misses down. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mune. It's been a bit of a power outage so far this month for the Buffaloes. Only 10 homers as a team in those 26 games. They did hit one last night with Ryoma Nishikawa getting his first of the season as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2 to Mune. Our friend Troy says, who's looking hot so far this season and what team is going to go all the way? Well, the Dragons got off to a good start in the Central League, very surprisingly, because both the Dragons and the Lions, in my opinion, are destined to finish in the cellar. But the Dragons got off to a fast start. There used to be an old saying in baseball, a win in April is like 2 in September. When the fastball misses outside, it's going to be ball 4, and Mune is going to be aboard. Our other friend Troy in the house. So we've got 2 Troys in the house tonight. Sounds like a lot of gold in here tonight. But our friend Troy, Cards, Cars, and Comics too, he says, so the Dragons got off to a hot start, and they have started to fall back now. They are in the Central League as they find themselves now in 3rd place, 2.5 games back behind the Tigers. The Swallows have really floundered out of the gate. They're the only team in the Central League without 10 wins. The only team in the Pacific League without 10 wins is the Saitama Cebu Lions. Both teams basically struggling in all facets of the game. Maybe the Lions, not so much on the pitching end. Their pitching's been pretty decent. They just can't hit. So the right-hander Kitayama ready to deliver here as he holds to the set position. Mune establishes his lead, and it's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. But some of the players that we've seen this year, when you look at the Buffaloes, Leandro Cedeno is off to a good, solid start. But the Buffaloes, as a collective whole, the offense has been sputtering. They haven't really got things, especially with that loaded lineup. And one of my criticisms has been the manager, Nakajima, not playing every day. He's been moving guys in and out of the lineup all over the place. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count now goes to 1-1 on Nishikawa. We had a solid crowd in here last night. We expect it'll probably be a late arriving crowd here tonight. Our crowd in terms of our participants listening in, we've had, obviously, we got Zay and Troy in the house tonight. I appreciate you guys for popping in for some early action. We're going to be on the air again another 3 more times this week. It'll be Thursday, North American time, and then Friday and Saturday. I think actually Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, North American time, as there's a fastball that is swung on and missed by Nishikawa. And that's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Troy also says it can be said that you can't win it all in April, but you can sure lose it. Yeah, when you look at Major League Baseball and you look at the White Sox, the Marlins, and the Rockies, they have dug themselves a deep hole in the month of April. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2, still to Nishikawa. We expect this game here tonight. As we had made our predictions, we didn't get our predictions up till about an hour before game time. We're leaning toward the Buffaloes in this one. I really like the lineup they rolled out tonight. I like the way that they won that game yesterday. The X factor is Kitayama on the mound for the Fighters, but if they can chase him and get into the bullpen, and that needle turns to the Buffaloes. There's a split figure pitch, swung on and missed. Nishikawa goes into the books for the second out of the inning. That is 2 retired here by the Buffaloes, and that will bring up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Our friend Troy, who's listening in, if I'm not mistaken, is a Diamondback fan. Our other Troy is a Tiger fan. Certainly, the Diamondbacks had quite the run last year. I'll make a statement right now for our Michigan Troy and say that I think Tariq Skubal is going to start the All-Star game for the American League, the way things are going, especially after another performance like today. So here's Cedeno to the plate, batting .297. He's got 5 homers and 15 RBIs. And he swings at a fastball and lifts that one foul. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Leandro Cedeno. Cedeno tied for the top spot right now in home runs. He's got 5 in the Pacific League as he's waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering. As the right-hander works himself to the set. He checks Mune and now delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count runs even to 1-1 on Cedeno. I will say this, that Kitayama does work efficiently even with runners on base. He doesn't waste a whole lot of time. It'll be Yumatangu who waits his turn on deck should Cedeno be able to reach here. Kitayama gets his sign from the catcher Tamiya. He works himself set again. And now he kicks and fires. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Count now goes to 1-2. That pitch was down and away. Couldn't quite pick it up out of the hand, could Cedeno. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We look at some of the leaders from around the NPB. I was saying the other night that the leader last year in the month of March and April in the Pacific League was Yataro Sugimoto, and how things have changed for him. He had hit 8 home runs last year in the months of March, April. And this year, with only a couple days left, as we said, Cedeno is tied for the league lead as he's only got 5 home runs at this point. Other leaders in the home run department, Gregory Polanco for the Chibalote Marines also has 5, as that fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. And it is Hotaka Yamakawa for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, also tied for first with 5, including he had a couple of grand slams in 1 ball game against his former club, the Saitama Cebu Lions. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander works set again and kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and missed. Cedeno goes in the books. Kitayama strikes out the side. And between that, there was a walk to Mune. So there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through a half inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Fighters coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We're glad you guys could hang in with us here for all the baseball needs this evening.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
Welcome back, everybody. The lefty Satani is completing his warm-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one going in just a couple of moments. Yuya Gunji, Go Matsumoto, and Chusei Manami to come to bat here in the bottom of the first. The lefty has made 2 appearances so far, and he had a 1 start for 3 innings and another one for 5 in his last outing. Our friend Troy says, mentioned the Sox, the Rockies, and what is up with the Stros? The Stros will get it going. I'm not really concerned about those guys in the short term, but or in the long term. I think the short term is we're going to start to see a bit of a changing of the, let's say, the guard in Houston. They got a couple of some decisions to make. Obviously, Verlander, they're 9-19. Verlander is just starting to come back, and that'll start to make some difference. I don't know where Luis Garcia is in his recovery, but I'm not really overly concerned about them. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, moving back and then backpedaling to make the catch is Nishikawa. So with one pitch, there is one away here in the first inning, as Gunji lines out to left for the first out, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Go Matsumoto. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, from left to right field, Nishikawa is in left, Watanabe is in center, and Mori's in right. Around the horn from first to third, it is Cedeno at first, Gonzalez at second, Kobayashi at short, and Mune at third, with the battery of Satani and Wakatsuki. So the small lefty, ready to go again, delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Despite his diminutive size, that last pitch poured in at 94 miles an hour on the radar gun. Matsumoto hitting .214, no homers and 2 RBIs, swings at the fastball and he lifts it into right center field, drifting over to his left and making the grab is Watanabe. That's going to retire Matsumoto for the second out of the inning. So the Fighters have come out swinging tonight, but the ball has found the gloves of the outfielders so far. So 2 up and 2 away. That brings up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. Well, for Manami, he is off to a decent start again this year. He's hitting .265, 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. The only hit, as we mentioned in last night's ball game, was delivered off the bat of Ariel Martinez in the first game of the series. Manami had himself a couple of hits, including a single and a double. He also drew a walk. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. I was saying last night that Manami's still a young player, and when he starts to really lay off some of the breaking balls and the sliders down and away, as the fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count's even at 1-1, he is going to really lift his game as a hitter. So that's only going to come through time and experience, one would like to hope and think. Our friend Troy, who's from Michigan, he obviously watches the Tigers, and I keep saying to myself about Spencer Torkelson that Torkelson's going to do that as well. But here we are now, 1,000+ at bats into his career, and we still hasn't figured out how to lay off the pitch. He must be getting hitting instruction from Javi Baez, as there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike by Manami, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty gets his sign from Wakatsuki, works himself to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. A breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Manami stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the first inning. Only 7 pitches thrown by the starter Satani to take care of the Fighters in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're moving to inning number 2. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Fighters 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It's a 0-0 ball game as we go to the second inning. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Yuma Tongu, Tomoya Mori, and Kenya Wakatsuki. To get things going here, our friend Tudo in the house tonight. We welcome you. I appreciate you for stopping in as we are about to get inning number 2 underway. As we said, only 7 pitches for Satani in that first inning. And his counterpart had to work a little bit harder as Kitayama had delivered 20 to retire the Buffaloes, and he had struck out 3 in that first, struck out the side. First pitch fastball delivered to Tongu, misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Tongu hitting .232 on the year with 3 homers and 12 runs driven in. Takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. Full slate of games across the NPB tonight. We'll keep you updated on all of that action as a breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 2-1. Everything will get going before the 2 p.m. local time, or 10 Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. And what we will see is one other game is going to go off in about 4 hours' time, or 4.5 hours' time. And that would be the Carp and the Tigers. So featured game of the night. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Tongu as Kitayama delivers. It is a fastball missing upstairs, and the count runs full to 3-2. We were looking at some of the individual leaders, and we were talking about the home run leaders in the Pacific. Batting average leaders, it is loaded with Fukuoka players. Fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded neatly by Mizuno. He throws to first. That's going to retire Tongu on a ground out, 6-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. The top 3 hitters for the Hawks, Yuki Yanagita, Yukio Shudo, and Kensuke Kondo, all top 3 in the league, and they're the only 3 players in the Pacific League with 300-plus batting averages with qualified at-bats. The other 2 rounding out the top 5 are Ryosuke Tatsumi for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He's hitting .298. And Leandro Cedeno, who entered the fray tonight, hitting .297. This brings Tomoya Mori to the plate, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Mori. Mori's still trying to figure it out a bit. He's batting .190, no homers, and 8 runs batted in. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, this ball is belted deep to right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, but it's just going to hook to the right of the foul pole. Oh boy, did that get out in a hurry. He just got out in front of it. I have to say, there's sometimes I think that Mori is a guess hitter, and I think he was guessing fastball inside that time. Absolutely turned on that pitch and almost obliterated it, but the problem was it's about 20 feet to the right of the foul pole. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. It's now 2-1 to Mori. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field, but it's going to get down for a base hit in front of Matsumoto. So that's going to be the first knock of the ball game. Tomoya Mori aboard with a 1-out single, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. And for Wakatsuki, he's off to a nice start this season. He's hitting .279. He's got no homers and 5 RBIs. They've been sharing duties between Mori and Wakatsuki behind the plate. The difference is on the night that Mori doesn't catch, he's usually been patrolling right field or getting the nod as the designated hitter. So Wakatsuki hitting from the right side here, waiting on the offering from Kitayama, who now kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, and it's moving back onto the warning track, and up against the wall is Manami, and he's going to fire it all the way back into first base, and getting back in time is Mori. Showing off the arm there is Manami, hitting it to the deep part of right center field, right up against the wall. We saw that last night from Wakatsuki as well. He hit the ball the opposite way with some juice. So he has gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the switch-hitting second baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Not only did Manami show off his arm, he also showed off some accuracy with it as well. Mori really had to scamper back. So Gonzalez steps to the plate batting left-handed. He's hitting 184. He's got a homer and a couple of RBIs. And he takes a first pitch fastball up and away for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we mentioned, the other games that are going on across the NPB tonight, the other early start is the game between the Hawks and the Lions. Kona Takahashi going for the Lions and Carter Stewart Jr. for the Hawks, as there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes even at 1-1. Probably that would have been a game, if we were doing it as a one-off, it would have been a game that we would have picked to have made the call on. Games that go off at the top of the hour will be the Marines hosting the Eagles, Dragons hosting the Bay Stars, and the Giants hosting the Swallows. As mentioned, the Carp and the Tigers go off in about 4.5 hours' time. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Gonzalez. One of the things that the NPB likes to show is 9-inning games. The average 9-inning game takes 3 hours and 1 minute to play through yesterday. And that's not taking into account, as we said, the extra innings or whatever else. But one thing I'd be curious to know is if the weekend games go longer than the weekday games. It just seems that way. Weekday games seem to move a little bit quicker. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. Not sure we'll ever be able to get those official statistics, but unless we sit down and do the math on each game ourselves. So Kitayama here with a 2-2 count. 2 gone in the second inning. Runner Mori is at first. Gonzalez at the plate. Here comes the pitch. And now time is called as Gonzalez steps out. And he's got something in his eye. See that sometimes with hitters, they ask for time and have to be able to get whatever it is that's bothering them out of the way. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kitayama ready to go again. He has thrown 35 pitches to this point. He's had to work a little bit harder than his counterpart. Now here comes the offering to Gonzalez as he works to the set. And instead he fires over to first, and diving back in time is Mori. So Mori, the runner at first, 2 gone. Kitayama ready to go again as he gets himself onto the rubber and gets the sign from his catcher, Tamiya. Checks the runner at first, works himself to the belt. And now the pitch. Fastball misses inside. Count runs full to Gonzalez. And now Tomoya Mori will be on the move as it is full count with 2 gone. That last pitch there looked pretty good. A lot of arm side run on that one. Very fortunate Marwin Gonzalez did not get the right hand to go up on him. That pitch looked pretty good. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Again, Kitayama checks the sign. He works to the belt. And now he's ready to deliver. And the pitch. And it's a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Gonzalez goes into the books. That's the 4th strikeout recorded tonight by Kitayama. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the second, it is the Buffaloes nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Fighters here in their half of the second inning. That means Ariel Martinez, Yua Tamiya, and Franmil Reyes to get things going against the lefty Ryuhei Satani, who only threw 7 pitches in the first inning to retire the Fighters 1-2-3. He's just completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action. Martinez coming to the plate. He had the only hit in last night's ballgame for the Fighters. As we watch him here, it was a RBI double that ended up getting hooked down into the corner. As we mentioned at the top of the stream, it was the first time in NPB history that a team had scored 4 runs in a ball game on the benefit of only 1 hit. There was a lot of excitement as both teams were a little bit shoddy on the defensive side yesterday. 5 errors combined in the ball game last night. And here comes the first offering from the lefty. That's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop, Kobayashi, and he throws to first, and Martinez is gone on 1 pitch, ground out 6-3. So whatever the scouting report is against the lefty Satani here, they have come out swinging, have the Fighters. So 1 up and 1 away, and that brings up the catcher, Yua Tamiya. For Tamiya, he's been off to a hot start. He's hitting .393. He's got no homers and 8 RBIs. We're talking about league leaders in the batting average category. He hasn't had enough qualified at-bats to be considered to be in that mix as of yet. And the pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. The Central League games and the matchups that take place today are the start of a new series. Tomorrow night in the Golden League games, it'll be the Pacific League teams will be making their moves. The Buffaloes are going to be playing their home games at Hotomoto Field in Kobe, as they will be hosting Oroki Sasaki and the Chibalote Marines, as that breaking ball is taken for a called strike. Counts now 1-1. Hiroya Miyagi going for the Buffaloes. That's a super matchup. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Fastball swung on, and this is fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Another interesting matchup tomorrow night with the Hawks hosting the Eagles. It'll be Cody Ponce, who's pitched well for the Eagles. It's coming over from the Fighters against Kohei Arihara. Arihara, of course, the one-time Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighter before he left for the greener pastures of Major League Baseball. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. Count remains at 1-2. It'll be Yamazaki against Rodriguez tomorrow at the Tokyo Dome in the battle between the Swallows and the Giants. I saw Rodriguez pitch last year. He was a former Detroit Tiger. Kind of a 4A player as well. Not good enough for the big leagues, maybe too good for AAA. Fastball misses down, and the count is 2-2. And then the last one at the Bantalin Dome, at least with pitchers that have been given, it's going to be Ogasawara going for the Dragons tomorrow night against Nakagawa of the Bay Stars. So full slate of games. Again, the Tigers and the Carp have not announced their starters. There's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike, and Tamiya goes in the books. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning, as he stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by, and that's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Franmil Reyes. Our friend Troy in the house says Rookie struggled a little bit in his last outing. That was a game I think last weekend I was kind of hoping to be able to capture, but guess you can't win them all. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Reyes, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Reyes off to a slow start, hitting $180 with a couple of homers and 3 RBIs. He is a big fella. He just is an imposing figure in the batter's box. When you compare him to the pitcher on the mound, it looks like a giant against a dwarf. There's a fastball swung on it. It is tapped foul in front of home plate, but it went off the batter himself, and so that's going to run the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Reyes. As we mentioned, we'll keep everybody up to date on the games as they progress through the night. My key to that game in Fukuoka is the amount of walks that Carter Stewart Jr. has to manage. He's got to keep that in check. The Hawks now have a 1-0 lead over the Lions. That's in the bottom of the second inning. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. We picked the Lions tonight. That's a game there with Stewart on the mound at home. And Kona Takahashi, if the Lions are going to salvage a victory in that series, Takahashi would probably be the guy to do it. They squandered opportunity with Amai on the mound on Friday. They really have played the Hawks tough in this series. They've got nothing to show for it. So here comes the 0-2 to Reyes as the lefty kicks and fires. And it's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Reyes is in the books. That's 3 strikeouts for Satani here through his first 2 innings of work. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. And the left-hander here bounces off the mound. That is going to do it here in inning number 2. We are now moving to the top of the third inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Fighters 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the third inning, and it is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Kataro Kobayashi, Haruto Watanabe, and Yuma Mune. 1, 2, 3 in the batting order. One of the things that's kind of neat they're showing in Hokkaido is the food offerings. When I was there last year, it is very interesting, at least in Japan, how they offer food. When you go to a Major League Baseball game in United States or even a minor league game, if you're going in April and May, they never sell out of food. They've always got options because you have freezers, you got ways in which to store the food. A lot of the stuff that you get in Japan at the games is made fresh right there, as there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and sometimes they sell out of the food. And so they've got some different things other than just your regular North American ballpark fare. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Certainly, you get different types of noodles and different types of menu options. And that's one of the things when you walk in the door, they hand you not only a guide to the stadium in most cases, but they'll also hand you a food guide. And the costs are reasonable, unlike in North America, where I feel like I got to make sure I take my rings off before I pay for the food because they might take my rings with it as well. Fastball, check swing fouled away, and the count is 1-2 to Kobayashi. And probably one of the neatest things I had was that as well, was a quail egg with some chicken and nuts at the Tokyo Dome. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Kobayashi's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Haruto Watanabe. Our friend at YTXLEN is on Twitch listening, and he says, what's the score of the Lions-Hawks game? And the score of the game over there is currently 1-0. Last update we have, as the Hawks are on the board with the lead early over the Lions. That's the only game currently going on at the moment. The 3 other games will get going at the top of the hour. And here's the first pitch from Kitayama. It's a breaking ball missing outside. The count is 1-0 to Watanabe. 5 strikeouts so far here in the early going for Kitayama. He's been very electric. There's a fastball swung on, and that one's lifted foul over the seats in the third base side. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1-1 Watanabe looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for 12 right now. Fastball misses outside. It's now 2-1. As we mentioned, he got the start tonight over Shuhei Fukuda, as Fukuda had been in a center field spot the last couple of evenings. There's a fastball swung on there, slined into center field, and Watanabe's going to be aboard with his first hit of the year. So he's got himself a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Yuma Mune. So Watanabe off the schneid with his 13th plate appearance. So 1 for 13 now on the season for the young left-handed hitting center fielder. For Mune, he reached base his first time up tonight. He drew a walk. He was stranded at first in the first inning. Batting .254 is the Orix third baseman with no homers and 6 RBIs. We talked about the power shortage. Certainly for the Buffaloes, there's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. Only 10 home runs hit by the ball club so far in 26 games. Of the 10 home runs that have been hit, 5 belong to Leandro Cedeno and 3 to Yuma Tongu. As the 1-strike pitch is on its way, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit into deep center field. Moving back on it is the center fielder Matsumoto, and he makes the catch. Retreating back to first base is the runner Watanabe, and Mune is in the books for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. The other 2 home runs for the Buffaloes belong to Marwin Gonzalez. And last night, Ryoma Nishikawa hit his first in his career for the Buffaloes, as he went yard last night with a solo shot to open his account with his first bomb of the year. Well, Nishikawa comes to the plate, hitting from the left side. He's batting .226, homer and 5 runs driven in. Waits on the first offering here from Kitayama, as the right-hander gets the sign and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses up. There goes Watanabe down to second, and the throw is in time, and the umpire has ruled him out. Watanabe is going to see if they want to have a look at this one. He thinks he was safe. Nakajima comes up to the top, and he's given the signal that they want to go to the VIR. So let's hold tight here for a second. So far this year, we are 5 for 7 in our calls. We have been pretty good to this point. Got off to I think it was a 4 in a row with our start, and then we lost a couple. So once we get the replay, we'll let you know what we think. The throw was up the line, and the tag was high. So we'll see what they have to say here. Get the throw down to second. Nice sweeping tag, have to say. Mizuno got to the front of the bag. And they may have a case, but we'll have to get a different angle. Right now, there's nothing definitive for us. I think the Buffaloes are going to lose this challenge unless we get a different angle ourselves. I think the fighter player Mizuno able to get the tag down. And I'm going to say that the call is going to stand. We'll wait and see what the umpires have to say. But I'm in full agreement here that Watanabe is going to be out in this situation. We've seen probably about 8 or 9 different angles. The manager Nakajima is probably going to burn his first challenge here, and it'll be unsuccessful. Let's see what happens when the umpires return. Taking a little bit longer than what we would think. I know when I saw the game the other day between the Los Angeles Angels and the Baltimore Orioles, it was Joe Adele was stealing second and ended up ending the ball game that way. Here come the umpires, and the call is going to stand. So we go now 6 for 8 on the year with our predictions or our calls, and that is going to retire Watanabe. He's caught stealing. He's going to go in the books as 2-6. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. They had no runs on the benefit of 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the third. Your score is the Buffaloes no score and the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. Bottom of the third coming back when we come back in just a bit. Appreciate you for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We're about ready to resume the action. It's going to be Tatsuki Mizuno, Taiki Narama, and Ryota Isabata, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat to face the Buffaloes here in the third inning. The pitcher, Satani, has been absolutely electric so far. 3 strikeouts, retiring all 6 batters he's faced. The first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. 7 pitches in the first inning and only 12 in the second for the lefty. As Mizuno stands in here, batting from the left side. A pitch on the way. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and now the count is 0-2. 232 batting average for Mizuno this year. No homers and 4 RBIs. He had the night off last night as he ready to face the lefty again. Our friend Chris is in the house, and we appreciate him for coming. He swings at a fastball, as does Mizuno, and that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. Strikeout number 4 in the books. So 1 up and 1 away, and it is going to be Taiki Narama coming to the bat. Our friend Chris said he had some struggles. He went on to DraftKings. They weren't showing any of the game. I don't know if it was just this game that they weren't showing or if it was right across the NPB. I know there are some folks that come in to listen that are not just using DraftKings, but they use other stuff to follow the games along. And there's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line, foul off the sign for the Panasonic Club Lounge. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Narama. I have to say, there has been some balls hit off of Satani here that have been hit hard. I wasn't keeping track tonight of first pitch swings, but if I was, I would say there was probably about 4 or 5. Zay says the games are on DraftKings now, so probably the live wagering is in effect. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Chris says he might go Buffs again. We've taken the Buffs at our end. They were underdogs in this one. There were 2 underdogs tonight that we leaned towards. There's a breaking ball missing up. It counts now 2-1 to Narama. That would be the Buffaloes in this one and the Lions in the other. Lions found themselves in a early 1-0 deficit to the Hawks at the PayPay Dome. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now runs to 2-2 on Narama. It is in the bottom of the third inning in that ball game, and as we said, it is 1-0 for the Hawks. I'll try to get a update on how they cashed the run in that one as well. As the lefty kicks and delivers, breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Narama fouled it right into his feet, and he's hopping around. Keeps the count at 2-2. The run in that game came in the second inning for the Hawks. Let's try to get ourselves there. It looked like it was Kawamura got hit by a pitch. And I don't know if it was Kurihara who had drove him in, or if it was the sacrifice fly by the catcher Ueno who actually delivered that run. That's what it kind of looks like, at least from our quick translations from Japanese to English. 2 balls and 2 strikes here as Narama waggles the bat after he walked off that foul ball. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now runs full to Narama. Chris says he took the Buffs and the Lions as of right now. I wonder if the Lions being down a run would pay a little better. But as I said, my concern is the pitcher, Stewart Jr., as that fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. And the Fighters have their first base runner of the night, as Narama is aboard with a 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryota Isabata. If I take a quick peek back over the box scores, or our box scores from the last couple of nights, only 1 hit last night, as we had mentioned, for the Fighters, so it's been 1 hit in the last 11 and 1/3 innings that they've been able to produce. They take advantage of some suspect defense by the Buffaloes, as well as with some walks last night. We're able to cash in those 4 runs. They're going to have to find a way to get the bats going here tonight. Here comes the first offering to Isobata. And it's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Narama, the runner at first, 1 gone here in the last half of the 3rd inning. Game has had a decent pace to it. Good size crowd. As we said, Golden Week is kicking off in Japan. We'll be on the airwaves at least 3 more times this week. We're not going to do one tomorrow night, although I really wouldn't mind watching that Miyagi-Sasaki battle, but I'll be heading back from Seattle. I don't think I'll be in time to do that. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Appreciate you folks jumping in here tonight. We've got our friend Titus listening from Japan. We appreciate you for coming in as well. 1 ball and 1 strike to Isabata as he waits here on the offering from the lefty. Narama establishes his lead at first. Satani checks aside. Here's the pitch. And they bunt, and it gets down, and it's a good one. Satani fields it. He underhand flips the first. Isabata, flashing the wheels, really gets down the line. That's going to go down as a sacrifice. It's going to go 1-3 on the putout. Isabata gone for the 2nd out of the inning. Narama advances to 2nd. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Yuya Gunji. And for Gunji, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He lined out to the left fielder his first at bat. Just go back to Isabata for a second. Isabata in the first game of this series, his wheels were able to be a game changer, and the Fighters put up 4 runs on the board on the Saturday game. It was his wheels on the back end of a potential double play in the first inning that was able to get things going, and the Fighters ended up batting around in that first inning on Saturday. But he almost beat that one out here in the infield as well. There's a breaking ball that is down, and the count is 1-0 to Gunji. Our friend God is Great says he started the new Calby cards, many error cards. I saw they were released. I took a look. I got a couple of stuff I'm working on for the Bay Stars. We may call a Bay Star game this week, and I was trying to do some stuff to get prepared. I have to look at my schedule. There's a couple of games that I may end up, I think it's the Friday or the Saturday game that we may do a Bay Stars game. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 to Gunji. Chris says he's going to be right back. He's going to go grab a snack from the deli. It sounds good there. Make sure you get me some prosciutto while you're there, and maybe some mortadella cheese as well to go with it there, Chris. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Gunji. As the lefty works set, he checks the runner Narama at 2nd. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, tapped in front of home plate. It's a fair ball. The runner didn't even budge out of the batter's box. The catcher, Wakatsuki, fields it. He throws to first. And Gunji standing in the batter's box. Now Shinjo has come out. He's looking to see if that ball had hit the batter. He's asking them to see if they can get some help. So let's see what's going to happen here. I don't think it did. On my first glance, the home plate umpire says no way. We don't usually see a whole lot of discussion between the umpires and the managers, but Shinjo has come out. He's not happy with the call. So let's see what happens here, if he's going to burn one of his challenges or not. If that is a challengeable decision here in the NPB or not. But now he's retreating back to the dugout, and that looks like that's going to be it. It's going to go down as a ground out 2-3. Gunji did not even make an effort to leave the batter's box, and that will do it here in the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. We're now through 3 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments after this on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Ryoma Nishikawa, Leandro Cedeno, and Yuma Tongu to get things going here against Koki Kiriyama, who has been electric in his 3 innings of work. He has 5 strikeouts so far through his first 3 innings. He fanned the side in the first inning. He has allowed a couple of hits tonight, as both Haruto Watanabe and Mori have each got a single. And he did allow a walk to Yumabune. He has been effective and maybe not as efficient as his counterpart Sotani tonight, as he has been very good himself. 48 pitches through the first 3 innings for the Hokkaido right-hander. As we are ready to resume the action, Nishikawa striding to the plate 0 for 1 tonight. He had struck out in his only at-bat against the right-hander Kiriyama, as the right-hander rocks into the motion and he kicks and fires. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Nishikawa. Nishikawa was up to bat when the base runner was gunned down trying to steal second in the last half inning. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side of the infield, fielded neatly by the second baseman Narama, throws to first, and Nishikawa gone on a ground out 4-3. 1 up and 1 away, and that brings up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Well, for Cedeno tonight, he, like some of his other teammates in the first inning, went down on strikes. He is 0 for 1 as he struck out his first time up. Certainly didn't know if we were going to get ourselves a pitcher's duel tonight based on the pitching matchup, but I have to say both of these pitchers have come out and they have really worked the zone well. There's a first pitch breaking ball missing outside, and the count is 1-0 to Cedeno. Still 1-0 over in that game between Fukuoka and Saitama. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded down the third baseline. It is stopped by the third baseman Gunji, but it trickles away from him. We're going to have to see how the scorer is going to rule on that one. Not an easy play, but I'm not so sure that that's going to go down as a base hit. We'll see if they flash us a decision here sooner than later. Cedeno turned on that one. It was down the third baseline. He got his body in front of it. I don't know if he got the glove to it or not. And then the ball trickled off over into the third base side. Actually, it did go off his glove as it trickled into the foul territory. We'll have to wait on a decision from the scorer on that one. But Cedeno is aboard at first base, and that brings up the designated hitter, Yuma Tongu. And for Tongu, tonight he is 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time up. And he takes a breaking ball down and away for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Sometimes when you're watching the games, you will see that the decisions will be made a little bit earlier. It looks like they're going to rule that one a base hit for Cedeno. Yeah, the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside. It's now 2-0. I was talking last night during our stream that Major League Baseball has kind of been encouraging the official scorers to rule in the favor of the hitters because the batting average has been so poor, especially across Major League Baseball. If they're not sure if they should rule an error or a hit, error on the side of the offense, give them the hit. Maybe that would be something here as well, but Cedeno gets himself a hit nonetheless. Fastball misses up and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Tongu. Despite the fact Kitayama has pitched well here in the first 3 innings, he did have an unconventional 1-2-3 inning in the third, but he's allowed at least one base runner to reach base in each of the first 3 innings. When you watch pitchers, sometimes they do better from the windup than they do from the stretch. As Kitayama steps off the backside of the rubber, and he's going to reset himself to do this again. Here comes the 3-0 offering. As he works to the set, here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. And Tongu is aboard with a base on balls. He is going to advance Cedeno over to second, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. It's also going to bring the catcher, Tamiya, out to the mound to talk to his right-hander, as this is the first sign of trouble as the Buffaloes have 2 aboard with 1 gone. The always dangerous Tomoya Mori coming to the plate. And for Mori, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a single his first trip. He's been able to raise his season average up to the even 200 mark. Mori can be a streaky player at times. When he played with Saitama, he was able to really be able to carry a team in patches. When he came over last year to the Buffaloes, he had a much more balanced, steady season, but there are times where he can just put the team on his back and carry them for a couple of weeks. And here comes the first offering to Mori as the right-hander checks Cedeno at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the third base line. The count is 0-1. Mori batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Kitayama. As we said, getting the start in right field. When he doesn't catch, it seems like they're platooning them behind the plate, but Mori's versatility and his ability to run has put him into some other positions. He also has been the designated hitter as well. There's a breaking ball that he lays off of, and the count goes even to 1-1. But if you would have asked me if Mori would have had more stolen bases than home runs at the end of April, I would have never believed it. He's got 3 stolen bases and no home runs to this point. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Cedeno, the runner at second. Tongu, the runner at first. Top of the 4th inning at Escon Field in Hokkaido. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Just drifting back on it with room to make the catch is Isobata, and that is going to retire Mori for the second out of the inning. And it's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, Wakatsuki is 0 for 1 tonight. He hammered a ball to right center field his first time up. Our friend Chris says he's going to have it on his big screen, so I'm not going to be able to read the chat, but wish all the best of luck tonight. I appreciate that, Chris. Hopefully we can keep you entertained with our in-between innings entertainment and information. I wonder how that would look on the big screen. So Wakatsuki here waiting on the first offering, and he swings at a breaking ball and misses. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Just want to know, really more importantly, what did Chris get at the deli? So no balls and one strike as the runners establish their leads. As we said, Wakatsuki hit that ball to right center field, flashing some opposite field power, just not enough. But did like his approach at the plate. Here's a pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul on the first base side of home plate, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. Wakatsuki ready to go again, and as Kitayama delivers, it's a fastball down. Nice block there by the catcher, Tamiya. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. We will take our proverbial Japanese halftime break at the end of the 5th inning. They do the extended breaks in between innings number 5 and 6. We will as well. Allows us to get a drink, freshen up our coffee. Tonight will actually be tea, maybe even some coconut water. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on and chopped foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 1-2 to Wakatsuki. This is the first threat that the Buffaloes have had, even though they've had runners at base. It's the first time that they've had a runner to second. So Cedeno at second, Tongu at first. If the ball is hit to the outfield, depending on where the outfielders are playing, they've got the right fielder Manami quite deep in right field. Cedeno doesn't particularly run the best. He moves okay for a big man, but he's not fast or fleet of foot. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses outside. Count now goes to 2-2. You'd like to think they'll take a shot at him at the plate if there was a base hit to the outfield. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The crowd is rather subdued in Hokkaido. Not a lot of noise being made by the home front at this point. 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses outside. That's going to be 3-2. Well, now you got trouble in River City because the runners are going to be in motion here. Wakatsuki is looking to put the ball into play. Runners on the move with the 3-2 pitch with 2 gone here. 65 pitches now for the right-hander as his count is slowly starting to ratchet up. Again, Kitayama gets the sign from Tamiya. He nods in agreement, and he works himself to the set. Checks the runner, Cedeno at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and that is going to load the bases, and that's going to bring Marwin Gonzalez to the plate. So Cedeno goes to third. Tongu goes to second. Wakatsuki aboard on a base on balls. That's the second free pass issued of the inning. And the manager or the pitching coach is on his way out to the mound to have a word with the right-hander. And Marwin Gonzalez is coming to the plate here with the bases loaded and 2 gone. Well, the former Houston Astro, Yankee, Red Sox, and Minnesota Twin entered the ballgame tonight hitting 184. He has a homer and 2 RBIs. Gonzalez has played quite a bit in this series, getting an opportunity to get some action in the last night's ball game. Reached base twice. He was 1 for 3. He also was on an error, reached on an error, scored a couple of runs. So his veteran presence here at the plate. Here comes, he's going to get something good to hit somewhere here. There's nowhere to put him. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Not sure what he was looking for, but that would have been a pitch to be able to stay inside and drive the other way. Had a little bit of backdoor movement as the pitch started middle way and ended up right on the outside corner of the plate. Here comes the 0-1 as the right-hander fires. It is a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to first. Martinez feels it, and he's going to take it himself and step on the bag, and the threat is going to be over. The Buffaloes strand the bases loaded. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. No errors, and 3 left the board. We're moving to the last half of the 4th inning. Your score is the Fighters no score and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Nothing ball game as we move to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be back in 30 with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Fighters. That means Go Matsumoto, Chusei Manami, and Ariel Martinez to face the lefty Ryuhei Sotani, who is on for inning number 4. And the first pitch offered is a fastball taken for a called strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Matsumoto 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up. Batting from the right side here against the lefty who kicks and fires. It's a fastball that comes inside and hits Matsumoto like it got him either on the elbow guard or on the tricep area. He's heavily protected on that side, and he moves down slowly to first, but he is going to remove that elbow guard. I think that's where it got him. So he gets hit by a pitch to lead off the 4th inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. The trainer is out to check on him here. I have to say that the ball, I notice here from the left-hander Sotani, it just explodes out of his hand. It can get up on the hitters in a hurry. I'm not sure what that fastball was, but sometimes he's brought it up to 94, 95 from the left side. We've got Jesse Harway in the house tonight. He says him, Josh, Steve, and Mike playing game of darts and listening from Windsor, Ontario. Well, we welcome them to the stream tonight. We appreciate you guys for listening in. And Big Mike, we understand, is quite the dart player. Or maybe it's quite the drinker. We're not sure, but we thank those guys for jumping in with us tonight. So Manami comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Matsumoto, the runner at first with nobody out here in the 4th inning. The lefty Sotani ready to go to work. As he works himself to the belt, he checks the runner. And here comes the offering. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Manami looked like he wanted to put 2 runs up on the board with that one swing right there, but it's no balls and 1 strike. Fighters, as we said last night, had 1 hit, and so far tonight, they have not found their way to the base paths via a base hit yet this evening. So no balls and 1 strike to Manami as the lefty fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Matsumoto. That ball was more to the inside part of the base, not the outfield side, and Cedeno had a good laugh. Cedeno was trying to bait him into it as if the ball had got by him. Watch that one again. He had made the catch, and then it looked like he was racing around to see if the ball would go by, but no, Matsumoto didn't bite. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as Satani delivers a breaking ball, swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder Mori, and he's going to make the catch. And that is the first out of the inning. So one away, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Ariel Martinez. By all accounts, it looks like that Martinez has found a home here in Hokkaido. He broke in with the Chinichi Dragons, and then he had the opportunity to make a move, and the fighters gladly lapped him up. This is his second year with the ball club in Hokkaido. He spent the first 3 years of his NPB career with Chinichi, a soon-to-be 28-year-old, as he's enjoyed his time in Japan. Batting from the right side against the lefty here, and the pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Martinez, when he first broke in with the Dragons, was the first player or the first catcher in over 20 years not to be a domestic catcher. That's one position that the Japanese do dominate. It is the catching position that can produce those players and with great depth. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. So when you bring in your import players, you have to look for positions that they will fill needs. So he also gets an opportunity. He's playing a lot of first base. I don't know if I've seen him behind the plate this year for the Fighters. I have to go back and take a look at my box scores, but mainly first base and DH to this point, and he's been very productive. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty holds set. Now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball, misses outside. Off to second goes the runner, and Matsumoto's going to slide in safely with a stolen base. The throw from Wakatsuki was high, and it was definitely not in time. If the throw would have been on the money, I still think it would have been a little bit late. Matsumoto had a big jump there. Way too easy off of the lefty. Wasn't necessarily the worst pitch to have to catch to throw down. Marwin Gonzalez had caught it on the shortstop side of second base and then had to reach back with the tag. The tag was definitely not in time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Martinez. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Martinez goes in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Yua Tamiya. So for Tamiya tonight, he is 0 for 1 facing the lefty. He struck out looking his first time up. Regardless, he is still a very dangerous hitter. He entered the fray tonight hitting .393. His average has dipped down as he's now lost 7 points, .386 at the moment. He's got no homers and 8 runs driven in. And here comes the first offering. It is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for called strike. And the count is 0-1. We're talking about teams. Earlier, our friend Troy, Cards, Cars, and Comics asked who we thought was having a pretty good season. We talked about teams. Well, certainly Manami, Martinez, and Tamiya, that run of 3 in the order, were really producing for the Fighters. Fastball swung on, chopped over to second. Fielded on the run by Gonzalez. He throws on the run. That's going to retire Tamiya. It's a ground out 4-3, and that's going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the 4th inning. They had no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. They did strand a runner as Matsumoto was plunked by the pitch. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Fighters 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few. 5th inning is just around the corner after this. Appreciate you for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be back again in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the fifth inning, and it's going to be Kotaro Kobayashi, Haruto Watanabe, and Yuma Mune, the 9-1-2 hitters, to come to bat here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. Right-hander Kitayama on 68 pitches delivers a first pitch breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. He survived the fourth inning, stranding the bases loaded. The Buffaloes have had some opportunities, but they haven't been able to cash in yet. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kotaro Kobayashi. Another pitch delivered, and that misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-0. So Kitayama coming out and having a trouble locating his pitches here. And the pitch on the way as a fastball misses up and away, and 4 straight pitches. It's a base on balls. He walked 2 in the fourth, and now he has walked another one here, and you can see the manager, Shinjo, talking to his pitching coach, and they're probably looking to get somebody up in the bullpen on the ball game here tonight. That is his 4th free pass that he has issued. Walks can kill you, and that is exactly, especially the leadoff walks. So I would anticipate here that Watanabe is going to be in a sacrifice bunt situation. Watanabe did get his first hit of the season his last time up. 1 for 13 in the early going. So he does have himself a batting average, and he's already squaring to bunt here. Here comes the pitch. As that pitch is a fastball that misses outside, he pulls back. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Watanabe. So interesting to see what Nakajima has in mind here. 5 balls in a row. I wonder if you just put the bat on the shoulder and take a pitch here until he throws you a strike. No sense in bunting into the potential sacrifice out if the pitcher is all over the map. Let's see what they have in mind. He is squaring to bunt again. Will he pull back and make him throw him a strike? Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball that's inside. The home plate umpire calls it a strike. It always drives me crackers. The catcher dropped the ball. Got to be able to earn it. Clanked right off at Tamiya. As he had to go across his body, got him on the heel of the glove. But yet the umpire went up with the right hand. That makes the umpire look bad. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Watanabe again showing bunt. He is choked up to the trademark. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. And he squares and he pops it up. It's not a good bunt. They let it fall to the ground. Tamiya then picks it up. They throw to first for the out. Now they've got the runner hung up between first and second. Oh, that's a brilliant play by the catcher, Tamiya. The runner at first has to hold because of that situation. And so the ball was popped up. Kotaro Kobayashi held his ground. The ball fell to the ground. Tamiya picked it up. They threw to first. So that's going to put Watanabe on the putout. That's going to go as a ground out, 2-3. And then the run down to get Kobayashi, he's going to be put out 2-3-6. And that's the second out of the inning. So an unconventional type of double play. Has got 2 retired here, but a heads-up play by the catcher, Tamiya. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Our friend, the Funko Pop Legend, says they don't have any live streams anywhere. No more commentary. Don't know what to tell you. There's a breaking ball that misses up. We're giving you the commentary right here. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mune. Mune batting from the left side, 0 for 1 tonight. He's also drawn a walk, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So that is a one way to get yourself out of a potential jam after issuing a leadoff walk. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Mune. Our friend Jose in the house tonight. We welcome him back. He makes the announcement by saying Kimbrel is trash and the Rays are trash too. Well, Craig Kimbrel certainly couldn't finish that deal for the Orioles today. That is for certain. And the Tampa Bay Rays are not playing Tampa Bay Ray baseball yet. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as Kitayama rocks into the motion and delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. Count now goes to 3-1 on Mune. Jose wanted to know who is pitching for the Buffaloes. It is Ryuhei Sutani, who is only making his third start of the season. He's been absolutely electric. Fastball swung on, popped up into shallow right field, coming in on it is Chusei Manami. He's there, and he makes the catch. And that is going to do it. Well, the Buffaloes got the leadoff batter aboard with a walk, and an unconventional double play helped get Kitayama out of the inning. And that will do it here in inning number 5 for the Buffaloes. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with inning number 5 of the bottom half when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for stopping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of the 5th inning, and coming to bat for the Fighters, it'll be Franmil Reyes, Tetsuki Mizuno, and Taiki Narama. They face the left-hander, Ryuhei Sutani. What a really heads-up play by the catcher in that last half inning. They're showing it again on the replay, and it was a fantastic play by the Fighters catcher, Tamiya. The ball was popped up. He let the ball fall down in front of him, where he was able to freeze the runner going from first to second. He picked it up, fired to first to get the put out of the batter runner, and ended up getting Kotaro Kobayashi in a rundown, and he ended up being retired in an unconventional double play. Here's the first pitch delivered to Reyes. It is a fastball swung on. It is hit into straightaway center field. Moving back and to his right a bit is the center fielder Watanabe, and he's going to haul that one in. And so with one pitch, we have one away here in the 5th inning, and that will bring up the shortstop, Tatsuki Mizuno. Well, for Mizuno tonight, he is officially 0 for 1. He struck out in his only time to the plate. He played in the game on Saturday, but got yesterday off. So back in the action here tonight for the Fighters. He's hitting .229 on the year, 16 for 70. He squares to bunt, and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We talked about Sutani tonight being very efficient with his pitches, only 45 pitches through the first 4 innings. Unlike his counterpart, Kitayama, who may find himself out of this game quicker than we would expect, as that fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-2. Our friend Jose says Franmil Reyes is playing in Japan. Good power hitter, but very vulnerable. During the game tonight, he was batting .180 with a couple of homers and 3 RBIs. He's one of those kind of guys that he's kind of hot and cold. And we talk often about players who are almost like 4A players, too good for AAA, not good enough for the big leagues. As there's a fastball swung on, his chop slowly to second. Marwin Gonzalez on the run, fields it. He throws to first. And Mizuno's retired on a ground out 4-3. So Mizuno in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Taiki Narama. Our friend Chris in the house, he said he had to come back because the Lions are up 4-1 right now. Well, that was one of our hot takes tonight. We had predicted that the Lions would win that ball game, and of course, you're absolutely correct. It is a 4-1 scoreline there. There's a fastball that misses up to Narama, and it's 1-0. Other scores from around the NPB, the Swallows have jumped on a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. They scored 4 runs on the Giants in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and chopped foul over on the third base side. The way that the Giants have been scoring runs, other than last night, they may be hard set to be able to get some runs here against the Swallows tonight. That game could already be over in the first inning. Marines jumped out to a 1-0 lead against the Eagles. That game is in the bottom of the second. This game here, of course, all locked at zeros. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2 now to Narama. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 gone here in the 5th inning. Ball game is locked at zeros. The lefty Satani nods in agreement with his catcher Wakatsuki. Here comes the pitch. And he kicks and fires a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field, and it's going to be caught by the center fielder Watanabe, and that is going to do it here in the 5th inning. So just as a reminder for those of you who are new to our stream, we like to call this our Japanese halftime. We had no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll take ourselves a mini break. It's an extended break between the 5th and the 6th. So this is an opportunity to replenish your coffee, your tea, go to the deli like our friend Chris, or whatever you need to do to come on back for the back half of the ball game. But we'll be back in just a few. As we move to the top of the 6th, your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Fighters 0. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be moving to the top of the 6th inning here in just a few moments as the Buffaloes and the Fighters are all locked at zeros. The line score in this one, pretty easy. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Buffaloes. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Fighters. Not a lot of action so far on the base paths in this one, and when there has been, they have effectively been able to extinguish any problems pretty quickly for both of these ball clubs. The unconventional double play there in the top of the fifth inning, as orchestrated by the catcher Tamiya. Outstanding defense here by the Fighters so far in this one tonight. We'll be back in 30 seconds as we are in the extended break between the fifth and the sixth innings. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat here to face the right-hander Koki Kitayama, who is on 80 pitches through the first 5 innings. He's just completing his warm-up tosses and will be ready to resume here. It'll be Ryoma Nishikawa, Leandro Cedeno, and Yuma Tongu to come to bat. And here in the top of the sixth, not a lot of action on the base paths. Only one time was there a serious threat by the Buffaloes. They had loaded the bases in the fourth with 2 out, and Marwin Gonzalez had grounded out the first to end the inning. That was the only real major threat. Only once tonight have the Fighters had runners to second base. I actually checked that twice. It was Narama who had walked and was sacked to second, and then Matsumoto had stole a base. So the first pitch offered here to Nishikawa is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Nishikawa tonight 0 for 2. Had struck out and grounded out his 2 trips to the plate. As he takes a breaking ball for a called strike, the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ryoma Nishikawa. Kitayama, the right-hander, ready to go again. He rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Nick says, "Yo, is this AI?" Yeah, we're doing it here, Nick. It's not AI, that's for sure. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on, grounded over to second. Fielded deep into the 4-hole by the second baseman, Narama, who throws to first. And that is going to be a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Our friend Funko Pop Legend says, he was going to money line the Lions, but didn't. And he hopes he made the right choice with the Buffaloes. The 2 underdogs tonight were the Buffaloes and the Lions. And we took both of them. Well, I shouldn't say the 2 underdogs. We took both of those underdogs tonight for a victory. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Cedeno. If you're new to the channel, every day we put our picks up. And we give you our selections as who we think are going to win the ball games. And there's a fastball that misses inside to Cedeno. He almost got it off the hands. He had to pull back. Count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the right-hander Kitayama delivers again, it's a fastball that misses way outside. And now the count goes to 3-0 on Cedeno. So cruising along pretty much through the first 3 innings. Kitayama was racking up the strikeouts, and now he's lost some command of his pitches as Cedeno swings through a 3-0 pitch, and the count is now 3-1. I mean, green light 3-0, why not? Big fella's in scoring position when he steps into the batter's box. Here comes the 3-1 offering from Kitayama. Fastball taken for a called strike. Cedeno sure didn't like that. He was ready to start making his way down to first base. We'll get a look at that on the replay as well. And I have to say, it was a borderline pitch. For the way that Kitayama's been throwing here in the last couple innings, I don't know if I would have given him that one. So here's the 3-2. There's a fastball that misses way up high, so that's just 1 extra pitch it took to get Cedeno to first base. So he's aboard for the second time tonight. The base on balls, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuma Tongu. Our friend Nick says, where can I find your picks? Well, if you're on our channel page, we have a community section, and every day we post up the picks. And we have our season record and everything else, and we kind of give you some information. We give you the starting pitchers and who is there, and you can pop in and take a look, and we give you our thoughts. Our friend Nick says he is subscribed, so that's where you can go and do that. Our friend YTXLN says, how can I watch these games? He's from Australia. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know what you can get in Australia. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. So YTXLEN is listening to us on Twitch. We also stream on Twitch, but our main core is on YouTube, which is where most people are in the stream listening to us and chatting away. We had a list of spots where you could go and pick up some things within our community page or in our members section, depending upon where you're at. But that is depending in Australia. I'm not sure what you can get for feeds down there or where you're going to be blocked. Fastball misses or catches the inside corner to Tonga, and the count now is 0-2. For a while, DAZN in the United States used to carry the NPB games. That was a couple of years ago, and they've kind of faded away from the NPB. I'd love to see the NPB be able to do it. When I was in Tokyo last year at the Tokyo Dome, and I was talking to a young fellow there who worked for the Giants, and they were giving out cards for where you could go and you could buy packages where you could watch games online. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-2. And I said to the fellow, I go, why don't you guys do it internationally? Because there's people that would probably be willing to pay for the service to have games. And the Giants don't do it, and other teams don't do it. I don't know why they're protecting their interests, but there's certainly enough interest outside of Japan that would make it viable if people were spending some money to want to try to be able to watch some of the NPB games. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded through the 6-hole into left field, past the glove of the shortstop Mizuno. Tongu's aboard with a base hit, and now the Buffaloes have something brewing here in the top of the 6th inning as they got runners at first and second with one out. And that is going to bring Tomoya Mori to the plate. Our friend Juan says, who do you guys think? Orix? Well, that's what we think. We think the Buffaloes are the ones that are going to be able to do it. I'm just not convinced yet that the Fighters are ready to make that next step. I don't even see them as a playoff team this year. I know our friend Zay is in here listening to us, and he's a fan of the Fighters, but I think they're about another year away from making some noise. Getting into the playoffs and then to start to do some damage is probably still a couple years from there. But they've really done a nice job putting a good young ball club together. They still make some inexperienced plays and some gaffes. But that's what you get when you have a young ball club. Here comes the first offering to Mori as the right-hander works set. And the pitch on the way. It's a fastball, misses down, and the count is 1-0. I have to say, I probably at this point here, I think that Kitayama is facing one batter too many. You got the left-handed hitting Mori at the plate. I would have thought they might have had somebody up and going from the left side to face the left-handed hitting right fielder of the Buffaloes. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as the right-hander checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Jay Bunworth says, do you reckon the Hawks are going to come back? I don't think so. Not in tonight's ball game. They do have the firepower for it, but we made the prediction that we think that this is going to be a Lion victory tonight. I mean, they got to win a few games somehow. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and in, and it's now 3-0. Our friend Juan says he's just got ourselves a new sub. Well, that's great. We appreciate you for jumping in. Our friend Zay says he's used to the disappointment. He still enjoys watching them, but they're doing it the right way, I think, the Fighters in their rebuild. As we said, they pretty much blew up the team when Shinjo took over, got rid of all the veteran players, And now they are building themselves a strong young core, especially with the new building. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike to Maury. And for those of you who are new to the channel, we are going to be back on the airwaves again 3 more times this week. We'll put our schedule up. I believe Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday will be the games that we're going to be on. We might even squeeze one more in. Fortunately, going to be in Seattle tomorrow for the Mariners and the Braves. As the 3-1 on the way, it's a fastball swung on it, is popped up in the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect as the second baseman, Narama, comes down with it, but Maury's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Our friend Eric, as Makua says, how long you been doing this? We've been calling games, the NPB games, over the last probably 3 or 4 seasons, so we've been having some fun in doing it. Enjoy watching Japanese baseball late night, and hopefully some other folks will enjoy being with us as well. So Wakatsuki steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He has walked in his other trip. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Kitayama, who is on pitch number 100, and he throws a fastball right by Wakatsuki, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Mike Dorer asks, which team should he bet on? Well, we've given our picks. As we said, it's on our community page. We always do that before each game, so we went with the Buffaloes here in this one tonight, but boy, as this game's gone on, they have squandered some opportunities here. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Mizuno fields it. He flips to the second baseman covering the bag at second. And that is going to retire Tongu on a fielder's choice, 6-4. And that is going to do it here in the 6th inning for the Buffaloes. Well, the Buffaloes, they squander a couple of runners on base. There was no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Fighters 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of bottom of the 6th when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order to come up to face the lefty, Ryuhei Satani, who has been absolutely electric here tonight. 5 innings pitched, only 53 pitches, and he has yet to allow a knock tonight. He has walked 1 batter, and he has hit a batter, and those have been the only 2 base runners tonight for the Fighters. Fighters struggling to get hits as they are in the last 14 innings. They've only got 1 base hit. That was from Ariel Martinez in last night's game, a double. So it is going to be Isobata, Gunji, and Matsumoto to come to bat here to face the lefty, the bottom half of the 6th inning. And the first pitch on the way to Isobata is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Isobata batting 179 on the season. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Waits on the offering here from the lefty. He kicks and fires a breaking ball that swung on and line foul down the left field line, and now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We try to get up some slow motion video, certainly that of the pitchers. We'll try to get some more of that up this week as we are down in Seattle. I've got a couple more that I want to get done for the Reds and for the Mariners. But hopefully we can get ourselves a few tomorrow night, as it's going to be Max Fried and Bryce Miller at the game we'll be at. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-2 to Ryota Isobata. Isobata batting from the left side here against the left-hander Satani, who kicks and delivers a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. Satani, very electric here tonight. He has been exhibiting a great command and control of his pitches. He's been able to change speeds effectively. A lot to like here. He was a first-round pick in the 2022 draft. He is 23 years old. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lined to the left field, and that's going to be the first hit of the ball game for the Fighters, as Isobata is aboard with a single. And they have thrown the monkey off their back, have the Fighters, as that is the first hit that they have had since the 5th inning of last night's ball game, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Yuya Gunji. Just a few more things to say about Satani as the pitcher. He was the first pick of the Buffaloes in the 2022 draft. He went to Hakua University. This is his 3rd appearance this year, his 3rd start. Last year, he made 10 appearances for the Buffaloes. A couple of starts, but mainly in relief. So that brings Gunji to the plate, who is 0 for 2 tonight. He's seen his season average dip to 217 as the lefty Satani throws over to first, and scampering back quickly is Isobata. So Gunji digs himself in, waiting here on the offering as the lefty holds set. He kicks and delivers a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-0. Be curious to see how he's going to hold runners. Go Matsumoto stole in the only attempt here tonight off of the lefty. Got a pretty good jump. Satani is fairly quick to the dish. As the lefty works himself to the set position, he checks the runner. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side of home plate. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we mentioned, we are going to be on the airwaves, and we'll post that up here in the next couple of days so that you guys can check it out. And if it works in, it'll be more than likely 9 o'clock Pacific time if you're in North America, midnight on the East Coast, as we'll run some of those games back as well. Look forward to being able to get on the call for those. Here comes the 1-1, but instead they throw over to first base. Getting back in time is the base runner Gunji. This is a park I would like to see. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. I'm going to try to get back again to Japan next year in August. This is a park I want to try to get to. That and the one in Tohoku as well in the Northeast. Breaking ball misses outside. There goes the runner down to second. The throw not in time. Isobata slides in safely. But this time, the manager, Nakajima, has come to the top step. He wants to have a look at this one. This will be the second challenge tonight used by Nakajima. We're going to look at the replay of this as well. So far, we're 6 for 8 on our calls this year. I have to say, at live time, it looked like they threw him out. Kentaro Kobayashi thought he applied the tag in time. We're going to go and have a look at this one. Nakajima wasted no time giving the signal that he wanted to go to the VAR. Now we'll get a look at the replay ourselves here. Wakatsuki had fired it down at first glance. It looked like he was out. One thing I will say is that if Kobayashi held the tag on the runner, I think they got a case. I think this is going to get overturned. I think this is going to be a caught stealing. It's going to go 2-6 in the books. The other part to this is if Kobayashi keeps the tag on the runner looked like he came off the base, but Kobayashi ended up lifting his hand out of the way. And I think he is out. We're going to see a flip on this one. I think I'm going to be 7 for 9 on the season with our calls here. But the umpires are going to have to make their decision. I started to tell the story the other night about Ron Washington when that game ended, when Joe Adell was hosed at second base to end the game. And he thought, he came out on his press conference and he says, we thought it was out, but New York is the one who made the decision. I'm sure that's probably what the Buffaloes will be saying here. If Isabata is safe, they'll say Tokyo had to make the decision on this one. We get to look at the replay again. And I do believe that the tag came down before the base runner's foot had hit the base. And again, we're waiting here on the messaging here. And here comes the umpires. We're going to get not there. And they do go up with the out call. So yes, we are 7 for 9 now on the season. So the Buffaloes will retain a challenge. It's going to go in the books as a caught stealing 2-6 for the first out of the inning. And we have Hitesh in the house here. He says, what do you think about the under 4.5? Well, in this ball game here right now, it's 0-0. I think that under is probably looking pretty good. I don't know if anybody's going to score runs. The other under at 4.5 hits for the Fighters might also be something worth to look at. So here's the 2-1 pitch to Gunji as the pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. It's now 2-2. So one gone here on the bottom of the sixth, nobody on. And Zay says he got him as well. Yes, he did. Here comes the 2-2 as the lefty kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. Our friend EP says, let's go Buffaloes. He's from Queens in New York City. Yeah, we appreciate you for jumping in here tonight, EP. I've been into Queens, and that's going back over 30 years ago. I was landed in New York City in a snowstorm coming back from Switzerland. Got to spend the night in Queens. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Gunji is retired for the second out of the inning, 2 in the books, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Go Matsumoto. And for Matsumoto, he comes to the plate tonight. He is 0 for 1. He's flown to center field. He was hit by a pitch, and he stole a base. The Pacific League batting champion in 2022 has not been the same hitter the last year and change. He's got to find a way to get going again. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Hitesh asked the question here. He says, is there extra innings? There are. They only play 12 innings in the NPB as that fastball swung on and grounded foul past the third base coach, and the count goes to 1-1. So only 3 extra innings. They do not use a ghost runner, so everything is in effect that way. It's just regular baseball. And in some ways, I kind of like that as I've got a chance to watch more Japanese games over the last few years. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2 on Matsumoto. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We get all kinds of folks from around the world who jump in to listen. We certainly get the Europeans who do listen to us on delay. Sometimes they jump into the games in the middle of the night. So there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, racing back, and it's going to be over the head of Mori. It's off the wall. Rounding first and heading into second is Matsumoto. He's got himself a 2-out double. And they went 5 innings without getting a hit, and now they've had 2 here in the 1 inning. That's going to bring up the ever-dangerous right fielder, Chusei Minami. Well, for Minami, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out looking and flied to right in his 2 trips to the plate. As he strides to the plate here with 2 gone and the runner at second, but they do have a conference on the mound. Ariel Martinez is waiting on deck, so I think they're going to probably want to discuss how they're going to pitch Manami here. They do have an open base. This is the difficult part of the batting order with Manami, Martinez, and Tamiya, the way they've been swinging the bats. Maybe not in the last game and a half, but certainly this season they've been very productive. Our friend Zay says, I'm just glad they got hits. Tanami says, let's get a run. Somehow I just get the feeling that this game here could go on for another 2 or 3 more days and nobody might score a run. The Buffalo's bats have been disappointing so far in the month of April as a collective whole. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball missing down, and the count is 1-0 to Manami. So 1 ball and no strikes. I would like to check out this stadium. It looks like it is a beautiful work of art. As this game is being played in Hokkaido. Certainly a lot better than that Sapporo Dome they used to play on. It looked like that was like the old Metrodome in Minnesota or the Silverdome in Detroit needed to be blown up. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is the center fielder Watanabe, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here to end the 6th inning. So we're 2/3 of the way through the ball game, and we're locked at zeros. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 6 complete innings. Their score is the Buffaloes nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. Inning number 7 just around the corner when we return. Appreciate you guys are jumping in with us. We'll be right back after this. Hang tight. We'll answer all your questions when we return. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. It'll be Gonzalez, Kobayashi, and Watanabe. Our friend Eric in the house here says, I'm going to Tokyo from the Houston area in 2 weeks and might have to make some time for an NPB game. Yeah, Eric, you might have to make some time for a few games. They're absolutely outstanding. There are 5 teams in the Tokyo area. The 2 directly in Tokyo are the Swallows and the Giants. The other 3 teams are the Chiba-Lotte Marines. They're more to the northeast of Tokyo. And you look at the Saitama Cebu Lions. They're more northwest. And then Yokohama is a short train ride away. And that's further to the south and to the west, I guess is the best way to put it geographically. Here comes the first pitch to Gonzalez. It's a fastball that misses up and in for a ball, and the count is 1-0. 101 pitches so far for the right-hander Kitayama as he is entered the 7th inning and trying to give the Fighters a fighting chance here. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. I did not get a chance to see a game at the Jinju. I've been to the Jinju Stadium before on a couple of occasions, but have not seen a game in that spot as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. And Gonzalez didn't like that one because it looked very similar to the first pitch that was called a ball. And that was definitely a high strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Gonzalez. It's Saitama, it's a dome, and at this time of the year, it might be more temperate to go watch, but in the summertime, when it is hot in August, it's an open air dome. So it's just a dome to cover the field from rain. So there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 3-1. But it is hot and humid. I'm not much of somebody who likes to drink beer or drink alcohol at games, like to go to watch the games. But I have to say that night I had a couple of beers because, oh boy, it was a super hot one to watch as that fastball swung on and fouled away behind home plate, and the count is 3-2. And probably not just one beer. I think I had a couple of beers and a couple of their sort of spritzer drinks. And at the same time, it's also good if you are traveling, because I took a look today and it's like 150 yen for a US dollar. The exchange rate is absolutely outstanding. Japan is on sale to all the travelers, certainly from North America. You get a chance to go, I would say, go and do it. Fastball misses down. Gonzalez is going to get himself a leadoff walk here. So he is aboard, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. I was talking about this today to a customer here in our area, and you go for a bowl of ramen, and you're looking anywhere from, with tax and tip in North America on the West Coast here, anywhere from $15 to $20, depending upon what we put into it. There are a couple of left-handers up in the Fighters bullpen. So action is heating up. But when you're in Japan, you can get a bowl of ramen for under 1,000 yen, which is well under $10. So when you're looking at it today, $7 for a bowl of ramen, or maybe $6.50. That's absolutely staggering, incredible. So Kobayashi tonight officially 0 for 1. He struck out in the third and walked in the fifth. He was erased on that unconventional double play as Haruto Watanabe had popped it up, couldn't get the ball down, and the catcher Tamiya made that fantastic decision and great play to be able to retire the Buffaloes. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Kobayashi. Juan says we need 2 runs from Orix this inning. Well, any run would be great here. Yeah, Toonami asked the question. He says, let's get a run here. You said yesterday the first batter walk goes exponentially. I forgot to do that. I might even in between innings see if I can find that. Something like 50% of the leadoff walk, or if you get the runner to second with nobody out, it's like 70%. As that fastball's check swing fouled away, and the count is 1-1. Luke says he needs to try to steal. I don't know if Gonzalez has got that in him so much anymore. Killer Noez says that he's been collecting NPB baseball cards and has developed an interest in the league and players. That's a great way to find information, especially. I've got piles of stuff over the last number of years, so another way to get some info. And there is a fastball swung on. It is lined to the second baseman, caught by Narama, and they throw to first to double off Gonzalez. Another double play, able to get the Fighters out of this inning. Well, there's 2 outs now, but what a play. Kobayashi hit the ball right on the screws, and that's going to go as a 4-3 putout. Gonzalez gone for the second out. Double play by Kobayashi. Couldn't ask for better. It was a great swing, great approach at the plate. But right to the second baseman, who had to move just a little bit to his left. And that's going to bring up the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe. So back to our friend Killa Noez, who says about the baseball cards as a breaking ball is taken for a called strike. I remember years ago when I used to live back east, I was in a men's store called Freed's. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. And I ended up running into the great hockey coach, Scotty Bowman, who used to be the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. And the 0-2 pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And Scotty Bowman was a well-known hockey card collector through his time as a executive and a coach in the National Hockey League. I remember he was there with his wife, and I said to him, why do you collect the cards? And of course, this is, kind of pre-internet era, as the fastball misses down. And we've got it at 1. I've got it at 2-2, but the scoreboard shows 1-2 to Watanabe. So we'll see what the official part is. We'll stay with the 1-2 for now. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. Now it goes to 2-2. Anyways, Bowman had said that he wanted to get to know what the players, he wanted to know what they liked, what they didn't like, and sometimes used to get tidbits of information on the back of the cards because you couldn't just go over to the internet and start punching in the stuff. And I thought that was kind of cool. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Narama. He throws to first, and Watanabe is gone. So an unconventional 1-2-3 inning, but 1-2-3 nonetheless for the Buffaloes. There was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the seventh inning. Your score is the Orix Buffaloes 0 and the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. And we got more baseball to come. Great for you guys joining with us tonight. Hope you're enjoying the feed. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the batting order coming to bat here for the Fighters. It'll be Ariel Martinez, Yua Tamiya, and Franmil Reyes to face a new pitcher for the Buffaloes. So a outstanding start here. And that is going to be it. So they are going to a right-hander, are the Buffaloes, and it is going to be number 14, Yuki Utagawa. So seeing Utagawa on the mound, I don't recognize him in the number 14 uniform. If I remember correctly, he used to wear number 96. They have some interesting pieces as they do it. I haven't seen Utagawa pitch this year. He really burst onto my scene a couple of years ago out of the bullpen. But Utagawa, a power arm from the right side on in relief. Great start tonight here by Ryuhei Sutani, scattering 2 hits over his 6 innings of work. And it is going to be it's going to be Martinez, Tamiya, and Reyes to come to bat here to face Yuki Utagawa. Our friend in the stream tonight here, Killenwez, says, it's a cool story. The other time I ever ran into Scotty Bowman, I was a kid. I was in Montreal with my parents. It would have been about 1985 approximately, and he was actually the head coach of the Buffalo Sabres at that time. And we were staying in the same hotel as the Sabres, and we asked the concierge, said, how can we get tickets for the game? And the Forum, it was a sellout. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1. And my father and I ran into Scotty Bowman on the street, and we asked him how he could get tickets. And he was a little bit miffed and surprised that, in early October that there would be as a breaking ball misses up and the count goes to 1-1, that he was a little bit, as I say, kind of miffed to know that the game was going to be a sellout at the Forum. And so he advised us 2 things. He said, see if you can run into the players. And if not, go back about 3 hours before the game and see what corporate tickets would be returned. And that's exactly what we did, as there's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. And the count is 1-2. And sometimes that's my advice to people for sporting events. If you can't get tickets in advance or you're not able to, sometimes the corporations will flip their tickets back to the teams. And then what they would do is they would resell them. So sometimes 2-3 hours before a game, you could get it. And there's a split finger pitch down in the dirt that Martinez swings on, and he can't hold up. He's going to go down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Yua Tamiya. So Scotty Bowman had mentioned that to us, and we took advantage of that, and we were able to get Seats at the old Montreal Forum, about 20 rows up from the blue line. I remember my father at the time was upset because we had to pay $28 for that type of ticket. Now, probably today, you can add a zero at the end of that 28. That's probably what you would be paying in today's dollars for a ticket of that magnitude. Here comes the first offering now to Tamiya. It's a fastball that bounces to the plate. And the count is quickly 1-0. Our friend M3C180 says he used to get Whitecap tickets for free like that from a company. So obviously he's a Vancouver-based person as well. And the Whitecaps sometimes, you can get their tickets fairly easy, especially the midweek games. Usually the Saturday night games are the marquee ones. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Tamiya. I was a season ticket holder for about 5 years to the Whitecaps, but I don't even know if I could name you 3 players on their team anymore. There's a fastball missing upstairs. The count is now 3-0. Used to run across a lot of their players up at UBC. There used to be all kinds of different ones. SGA Tummy in the house. He says, crazy coincidence. He was in Buffalo today as we were telling a story there about the Buffalo Sabres. It's kind of cool. And we welcome you to the stream as well. Used to run into some of the soccer players from the Whitecaps because their training facility was up at the university. Fastball down, swung on, and golfed into left field. Moving over underneath it is Nishikawa. He's there to make the catch. Tamiya is going to be retired for the second out of the inning, so 2 up and 2 away here. That's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Franmil Reyes. SGA says, great sport and great fishing. Indeed it is. The guy I remember talking to was Jay DeMeritt, and Jay DeMeritt was a defender, an American defender for the Whitecaps, and used to kind of kid the guys and say if they wanted to come and take some swings in the batting cage. As the first pitch is a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count, check that, went up with the right hand for a called strike. Caught me off guard, caught Reyes off guard. So no balls and 1 strike to Franmil Reyes. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down, but the home plate umpire says that Reyes went around, and now the count is 0-2. Wow, 2 pitches to Reyes. He shouldn't even brought the bat to home plate with him because the umpire is trying to take it out of his hands on that last pitch. And certainly on the first pitch that he got called a strike on. So no balls and 2 strikes to the Franimal. As the 0-2 is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving over underneath it is Nishikawa, and the Fighters are going to go quietly 1-2-3 here in their half of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete. Your score is the Fighters nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a bit. Our friend John Schreiber is in the house tonight. Luke is here as well, and we'll be right back after this. Thanks for stopping in with us. The top of the 8th is just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to take a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. And it looks like there has been a game that's been canceled. So one game eliminated tonight, and that is the late game between the Carp and the Tigers. Rain is in the area as Hiroshima will have that one washed out. Dragons are beating the Bay Stars tonight 4-0. That's in the bottom of the fourth inning. Swallows are blowing up our ticket. They got an 8-0 lead on the Giants. That's in the bottom half of the fifth. We do have a pitching change here as it is going to be, it looks like Patrick Murphy on in relief. We'll get you that in a minute. Marines up on the Eagles 4-2. That's in the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-1. The Lions have the lead in the bottom of the seventh against the Hawks. And here we are still locked up at zeros as this ball game continues to go scoreless into the eighth. It is going to be Patrick Murphy on the mound, the former Washington National taking over here. He's going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes, Mune, Nishikawa, and Cedeno, as the night for Koki Kitayama is now over. So Yuma Mune striding to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to center, flown to right, and walked in his 3 trips. So officially 0 for 2. As the right-hander delivers a breaking ball, it's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Our friend Kilinoa has asked the question, what did Franmil Reyes do in Cleveland that got him kicked out? It was probably hitting close to 30 homers and asking for a big contract. That was probably what got him run out of town. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2 to Mune. I mean, you look at, was it Cal Quantrill? I think he ended up in Colorado. They get to a point where they're not going to put money into guys, even if they produce a bit. They just literally walk away from them, wash their hands. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 1-2 to Mune. So I don't know if it was anything specifically he did, but I would say that with Reyes, when you look at his approach at the plate, he just strikes out way too much. And he's not been able to make the necessary adjustments to cut down on that. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to short. Fielded by Mizuno as he moves to his left. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Mune on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. At least that's how I would read it with Franmil Reyes in Cleveland. And as I say, you look at some of the other players that they just kind of wipe their hands with and walk away with. As I said, Quantrill was another one who wanted money. They are doing it with a budget, and they're doing it certainly with the pitching. They've got guys that are on the way. They have a stable of pitchers in the minor leagues. They are drafting, developing, and bringing along. As that fastball is swung on and fouled away by Nishikawa. The ball's in 1 strike to the left-handed hitting left fielder of the Buffaloes. Here's the 0-1. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Nishikawa 0 for 3 tonight, grounded to second twice, and has struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. And the offering from Murphy is a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. Fielded on the run by Narama. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out 4-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Yeah, sometimes in Cleveland, I don't know if it's the player themselves as much as they look at the value of what the production is. There's a couple other players that fit in that boat too. I think Aaron Savelli would fall into that classification as well. You know, good major league pitcher, not going to put a ton of money into him because we got 6 or 7 other guys in the minors that are as good or maybe better than you are. As that breaking ball drops into Cedeno for a called strike. Cedeno tonight has a single and 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk. So 1 for 2 for the big fella, and now time has been called. Home plate umpire went running down the third baseline. So no balls and 1 strike as Murphy rocks into the windup and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Oh, he was right on the pitch, was Cedeno. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Looks like Utagawa is going to come on back out for another inning of work. He had a pretty easy 7th inning. He's up and throwing in front of the dugouts. Sometimes people ask us what are the different nuances between Major League Baseball and the NPB, and we'll come back and talk about that. As Cedeno stood there like the house by the side of the road, he watched it go by for strike number 3, and that is going to do it here on the top of the 8th inning for the Buffaloes. Well, they go quietly, and they go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Fighters nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. We'll be right back here in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in with us. The Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom half of the 8th inning, as it is going to be Mizuno Narama and Isobata to come to bat here, as Yuki Utagawa will be coming out to begin his second inning of work. We have our friends in the chat tonight. We're glad you guys could come in and listen. We are going to be doing this as well. He says, Noah says Killa Noah says he's at an arcade with his brothers and girlfriend watching them play games while I listen on my earbuds. There you go. That is dedication to the NPB. We're glad you are here listening with us. So here comes the first offering from Utagawa as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. Mizuno tonight 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips to the plate. Curious to see how Utagawa is. When we saw him a couple of years ago, he came in with pretty close to 100-mile-an-hour fastball. As the 0-1 is on the way. That's a fastball that misses outside, and that is at 94 miles an hour. Count is 1-1. Wonder if he's lost some velocity. I don't know if this is... We haven't seen enough of him this year, or where he is at in terms of his development or velocity, as that fastball misses way outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. When the Buffaloes were in the playoffs against the Hanshin Tigers last year, the bullpen at times was, and I would use the word vulnerable, as the Buffaloes had some struggles against the Tigers in the Japan series. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 2-2 on Mizuno. But with these hitters at the plate here, Mizuno, Narama, and Isobata coming up, I would say Utagawa's just got to be around the zone because he is about to overpower these hitters. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the pitch on the way, it's a fastball that just misses low. I'm not sure where that was. That pitch missed right down the middle of the plate. The home plate umpire has been living large tonight. He's been calling the pitches up in the zone and not so much down in the zone. But that looked pretty good to us. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball, that misses inside. Well, maybe the umpire wants to go home early tonight, but Utagawa on back-to-back pitches shows his displeasure with his body language. If you saw our body language here having to watch that, you'd have to agree. So a leadoff walk here by Mizuno. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Taiki Narama. But if you're a fan of the Fighters, that's some home cooking going on right there. Narama tonight is officially 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his last time up. He has walked and was stranded at second back in the third inning. And one would have to think this has got to be a sacrifice bunt position right now. And he is squared to bunt. They're probably practicing in the on-deck circle, the fighters, on how to sacrifice. He's already squared around. Here comes the first pitch from Utagawa. It's bunted and it's down. Utagawa fields it. The only play is going to be to first. That's going to go into the books as a sacrifice, 1-4. Narama in the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Ryota Isabata. Killanuez says he calls games on his Twitch channel as well, so has respect for anyone interested on anyone who does it, and we appreciate you for doing that as well. We also run it on Twitch. We don't put any effort into Twitch, really. This game is dual, not just streamed on YouTube, but it also is on Twitch. But we've not really put any effort into our Twitch channel over the last 3 years. We just, if people come in, we have one fella tonight listening from Australia. But it's not something that we've gone out actively really promoting or trying to increase at this point. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Isabata. Isabata officially 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single in his 2 trips. He also has a sacrifice bunt. So the runner at second is Mizuno. 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Fighters trying to break the deadlock. As the right-hander Utagawa works set, now delivers. Fastball, take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Well, that time he got the call on the inside corner of the plate. I'm not sure where that was to the batter a couple of batters ago. Would have certainly ended Mizuno's at bat a little bit early. So no balls and 2 strikes. As Isabata waits here on the offering from Utagawa. He checks the runner at second, works himself to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Troy says he's headed to bed. We appreciate you there for stopping in tonight, Troy. We thank you for your support. Glad to see you around. Hopefully you come on back again a little bit later. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Oh, that pitch sawed the plate in half, and Isabata turned around and walked right back to the dugout. He knew he was gone as soon as the ball crossed the dish. He's gone for out number 2. That hurts. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Yuya Gunji. Our friend Killa says he's going to try to follow us on Twitch as well. And he's sent to us here. Well, we appreciate your support. We do some major league games from time to time, but to be honest, we haven't done anything this year at all. A lot of it has to do with our time and our availability. I'm going to try to squeeze in here in the next little bit. We enjoy getting some of those ones in, but we have really put more of the effort into the NPB. There's a fastball swung on, grounded through the 6 hole into left field. Fielded by Nishikawa, rounding third and heading home. The throw is to the plate, and it's not going to be on time, and the score is going to be broken up. It's going to be an RBI single by Gunji. The Fighters have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. An RBI single. Gunji advances to second on the throw, and the Fighters now have broken the ice. They've got themselves a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the crowd is finally got something to cheer about in this one. And certainly a few of the people in our stream here tonight who are supporters of the Fighters have something to cheer about as well. The Buffaloes have squandered opportunity after opportunity to cash runs in. They've stranded 7 runners on base, haven't been able to deliver that blow to put them ahead. Now it's going to bring up Go Matsumoto to the plate. Matsumoto tonight is 1 for 2. He's had a double in 2 trips. He's also been hit by a pitch. As Utagawa delivers a fastball ticket for a called strike, the count is 0-1. The Buffaloes are going to have to get that run back in the top of the ninth inning. It's going to be Tongu Mori and Wakatsuki to come to the bats. I was thinking about this tonight, about what the Buffaloes are really missing. Their hit leader last year is Kai Nakagawa, and he hasn't played at all this year. At least we haven't seen him play at all. Not sure what the time frame for his return is, as there's a fastball ticket for a called strike. Now the Fighters are upset with the home plate umpire, as Matsumoto thought that pitch was up and away. So no balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder of the Fighters. They could use a little bit of insurance here if they could get themselves a run. I'm not sure the 1 run here is something I feel very confident about the Hokkaido Ball Club. No balls and 2 strikes here to the right-handed hitting Matsumoto. Utagawa holds to the set. He checks the runner, now delivers. Fastball down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. Oh, boy. Runs the count to 1-2. I don't know if that one could be reviewed. The closer is up and throwing in the bullpen for the Fighters. Seiji Tanaka getting himself loose. We'll see him for the 9th inning to try to seal the deal for the Fighters. Bottom of the 8th inning, Fighters have cashed the first run across the board. They have a 1-0 lead over the Buffaloes. Utagawa comes to the set, checks the runner, now delivers. Fastball misses down. It's now going to run the count to 2-2. Base hit here could possibly bring in another one. The outfield is very, very shallow. They got to be in a position where they can throw the runner out at the plate. Especially Tomoya Mori. He is really shallow in right field. So Utagawa works to the set position. Checks the runner at second and now delivers. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 3-2. Couldn't get Matsumoto to bite on that one. We will try to get our predictions up for tomorrow night. Not too long after this game is done, we saw that they have announced the starting pitchers for everything with the exception of the game between the Tigers and the Carp, but being that that game has been washed out, that might change. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. If they bump the 2 starters, it was supposed to be Yuki Nishi going head-to-head against Daichi Osera. Well, that game washed out. I would not bat an eye that it would be the same 2 starters going tomorrow night. So we're going to do the 3-2 pitch all over again to Matsumoto as it's ready to come here from Utagawa. Right-hander against the right-hander. Utagawa kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Matsumoto is going to get himself a walk, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. The manager, Nakajima, breathing deeply, and it looks like there are we going to make a change? It looks like it is. He's going over to the home plate umpire. The pitching coach is coming out. He has seen enough of Utagawa. They are going to the bullpen, and we will be back in a moment. So Chusei Manami coming to the plate. We're going to have ourselves a pitching change. Utagawa's night is done. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. 1-0 for the Fighters over the Buffaloes. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a couple moments.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to their bullpen. It is going to be Kazumoto Iguchi who's going to be taking over here for Yuki Utagawa. It'll be the third pitcher used tonight by the Buffaloes in this one. So Kazumoto Iguchi on in relief. And he is going to be faced with the tough task of facing Chusei Minami with 2 gone and 2 on here at the bottom of the 8th inning. We saw Iguchi in the ball game the other night, not last night. It would have been the game 2 nights ago for the Buffaloes that he had come on in relief. Just trying to take a quick look to see where we had him. I do believe it was in the 9th inning of that game, but I'm not 100% sure. We're just looking through our box scores. No, Iguchi had come in to place Run Makuki. And that was in the Saturday ball game. So he is now in taking over here. In replacement of Yuki Utagawa. So Minami coming to the plate. Trying to blow this thing apart here. One would have to think a base hit will score 1. An extra base hit could cash 2. Because Go Matsumoto has wheels and he can run. Anything in the gaps, he should be able to come home from first base. So Minami strides to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's flown to center, flown to right, and struck out looking in his 3 trips. As the right-hander here, ready to go again. Anonymous wants to know the score. Well, that would be the ticker running across the bottom of the screen. As the first pitch breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Fighters fans are trying to will their team on to victory here tonight. Minami waggling the bat. The right-hander works himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. I think Minami wanted that one back. He was a little bit disappointed in that particular pitch. Orix is running out of outs. They got 3 more outs to go here. So you're trying to get the run in the top of the inning to tie it. And they throw down to second base. Oh, boy. That was a pretty close pick play. Kotaro Kobayashi came in on the backside. The pitcher, Iguchi, spun on the blind side. The throw was outstanding. Oh, no, they just did get in, did the base runner. But a really, really, really good pick play that they put on. Almost got Gunji at second. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Another fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the batter, Chusei Minami. That's what Zay says. Can't believe it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I would think that Minami's going to get a steady diet of slop coming here from Iguchi the rest of the way. Here's the 1-2. Kicks and delivers. Fastball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, Minami, he stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it. But the ice has been broken. The Fighters scored a run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 8 complete. We are going to the bullpen as the Fighters will make a change. Your score is Hokkaido 1, and the Orix Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Seiji Tanaka coming on in relief, as he's going to be taking over from Patrick Murphy here. Tanaka entering the ball game, the right-hander, to be the third pitcher used tonight by the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters. The 29-year-old spent his first 4 seasons with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, 2018, 19, 21, and 22. The last couple of seasons he's been with Hokkaido. This is going to be his 10th appearance of the year. He's got 1 win and no losses. He has 4 saves. He's coming off a season where he had 25 last year. This year here, he's worked 9 innings. He's allowed 8 hits. He has not walked anybody, and he has struck out 6. He's got an earned run average of 1.00. So the right-hander here coming on, trying to seal the deal to bring home a victory for the fighters in this one. The Funko Pop legend says Orix is coming back in the 9th. Our friend Zay says 3 up, 3 down. So we are about to see what gives. There are a couple of changes defensively for the fighters. They have a new second baseman and a new third baseman. I'll have to get you caught up on that in just a moment. And the first pitch is a fastball that comes inside and hits Tongu. Oh, that's not what you wanted. Yuma Tongu is going to be aboard, and he is down in a heap of pain. It looked like it caught him in the forearm. Oh boy, that's going to leave a mark. So Tongu, who's the designated hitter, now, the first pitch he sees from Tanaka, you would have to think he's going to leave the ball game anyway, because I'll probably get a pinch runner for him. But the Buffaloes have life with a first pitch hit by pitch here in the top of the 9th inning. That couldn't be any worse for Tanaka. You got to think about it. Here you come into the ball game, the first pitch you throw, and you just smoke the hitter you faced. And it looked like it wasn't even on the elbow guard. It looked like it got him on the left forearm. Oh, yeah, and it got him flush, too. That's where a bone could be growing out of a bone in another 15 minutes or so. I can just imagine if he got him in the right spot, the swelling there could be massive. But they do have a pinch runner on for Tongu. That was a no-brainer. It's going to be number 36. This is Tetsuya Yamashi, as he has come in to run here for Tongu. So Yamashi into pinch run, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses down to Tomoya Mori, and the count is quickly 1-0. In this situation here, you'd think sacrifice bunt, but not with Tomoya Mori at the plate. Mori with one swing of the bat, he is looking for his first home run of the year. One swing of the bat, he has that type of power that could put the fighters down by a run. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses inside. That's 2 pitches in a row that came inside on Mori, and Mori wasn't happy about that. He turned back and looked at the pitcher. So you hit Tongu, and you've come inside both times to Mori. Tomoya Mori does have some fire. A couple of seasons ago, he missed some time with the Saitama Cebu Lions. When he'd come back to the dugout in anger, he punched the helmet and broke his hand. It was a very important piece to the Lions, and his anger ended up taking him out of action for quite a while. Our friend CB Baseball Card Collector in the house tonight. We appreciate you for jumping in. You came in right at the right time. It's our friend Cesar. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. We are here in the top half of the 9th inning. Fighters scored a run in the bottom of the 8th. It was a 0-0 game through the first 7.5 innings. Now the Buffaloes have a runner on with Nobody out. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Mori. I'd also expect maybe a pinch hitter for Wakatsuki, maybe the next batter here in the inning. We'll see what the Buffaloes have up their sleeves. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, you're definitely in crunch time here. Fighters ahead 1-0 here in the top half of the 9th inning. There's a fastball that misses inside. Again, almost hits Mori. And the count now runs full. Runner at first is the pinch runner, Yamashi. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mori. Waiting on deck is Wakatsuki. Nobody out here in the 9th. As Tanaka steps off the backside of the rubber. To do this all over again. Seiji Tanaka, not with the best command and control here tonight. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as Mori waits here on the offering, and the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by the second baseman who throws to first. That is going to retire Mori, but the runner was on the move. Yamashi slides into second base, so he's now in scoring position. Ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. As we said, there were a couple of defensive changes, both at second and at third. So we'll have to get that for you here. It was Daigo Kawakabata who had made that play, as he had come in to replace Yuya Gunji. So 1 gone here, and that brings Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate. Narama has gone from second to third base. Leaving the game was Gunji. And hitting in that spot in the batting order in the leadoff spot will be Kamikawa Kabata. And the first pitch fastball delivered to Wakatsuki swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So Yamashi's the runner at second. 1 gone here in the 9th inning. Wakatsuki at the plate. He'll be followed by Marwin Gonzalez. Buffalo is trying to get that run back that they gave up in the bottom half of the 8th. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that comes right down the middle, and now the count is to 0-2 to Wakatsuki. That was a great pitch right in the middle. I think Wakatsuki wanted that one back. So no balls and 2 strikes. Wakatsuki has reached base tonight on a walk, but he's also had a fielder's choice and a flyout in his other 2 trips. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball swung and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. Friend SGA gives us the green man. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. We welcome everybody into the stream tonight. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us. It's been an entertaining ball game for sure. No balls and 2 strikes here to Wakatsuki. Tanaka ready to go. Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch swung on and fouled away on the third base side this time. Count remains at 0-2. After this one's over, we'll give you the full rundown from around the NPB before we wrap it up and call it a night. The late game tonight has been rained out between the Carp and the Tigers. A couple of blowouts going on in the NPB as well, but there is some entertaining games elsewhere. There's a fastball swung on it again. Wakatsuki fouls it away, this time into the seats over on the first base side. Tanaka has had the work here. 13 pitches already so far in the inning. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander works himself to the set. Checks the runner at second, now delivers. Another fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back onto the warning track is Manami. He makes the catch. tagging at second and heading to third. Here's the throw. It's offline. Sliding in safely is the pinch runner, Yamashi. So that is going to put the runner at third with 2 gone. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. That's twice tonight that Wakatsuki has hit the ball to deep right field. This time it was down the line. Catch was made in fair territory, maybe about 4 feet from the foul line. This time Manami's throw was offline. If that ball would have squirted by the third baseman, that could have been a run. Nice job there by the third baseman, Narama, to get off the bag to stop the ball. So that brings Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez tonight 0 for 2. He has struck out, he's grounded out, and he has walked in his 3 trips. So officially 0 for 2. He bats from the left side here against the right-hander. The first pitch is a fastball that comes under the hands for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Buffalo's down to their final out. I guess if you want somebody at the plate, you want a veteran of Marwin Gonzalez's caliber. He's been a World Series champ. He's been around, and he almost got plugged there. There's a fastball that misses inside. That backs him off the plate. The count goes to 1-1. Waiting on deck is the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Should the game be extended here? So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Tanaka kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count now goes to 1-2. Marwin Gonzalez now down to his last strike, as are the Buffaloes. Tanaka gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up, and we're ready to go back to work. He gets his sign from his catcher, and he works himself the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, I don't know what you're looking at, Marwin Gonzalez. He stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the 9th inning. They get a leadoff batter on the hit batter by Tongu, and then Mori grounds out, Wakatsuki flies out, and Gonzalez strikes out looking, and that is going to do it. The Fighters here win a ball game 1-0. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score, the Fighters 1 and the Buffaloes no score. We'll be back in just a couple moments to wrap this one up. Appreciate everybody for listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is a final score of 1-0, and we'll give you the roundup around the rest of the league here in just a moment. Well, the score line here is pretty easy. It was Tetsuki Mizuno who led off the inning with a walk. Taiki Narama sacrificed him over to second, and after Ryota Isabata struck out looking, up stepped Yuya Gunji, who delivered a single, knocking home the base runner Mizuno all the way from second. And that gave the Fighters the only run of the ball game, and they went up 1-0, and that is where the game had ended. The win tonight is going to go to Patrick Murphy in relief. The save is going to go to Seiji Tanaka as the Fighters win this one here and keep their hold on second place in the Pacific League. Taking a look around the out-of-town scoreboard before we sign off for the night, other games are still underway across the NPB. In the top of the 8th inning, it is a 9-0 lead for the Swallows over the Giants. That game was pretty much decided in the first inning when the Swallows jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. The Giants have been starved offensively this year, and it doesn't look like they have any chance of coming back in this one. The Dragons have a 7-0 lead over the Yokohama DNA Bay Stars. That's in the top of the 6th inning. The game that is supposed to go off at the Mazda Zoom Stadium has been canceled tonight due to rain. The Tigers and the Carp washed out in that one. And the top of the 9th inning, obviously this game is finished. Top of the 9th inning in Fukuoka, it is the Lions who are holding on to a 4-2 lead over the Hawks. And in the top of the 6th inning, the Marines are holding on to a 1-run advantage against the Golden Eagles. It is 4-3, the Zozo Marine Stadium. Once again, everybody, we really appreciate y'all for jumping in here with us tonight. Thanks again. Hopefully you guys will bookmark the channel and keep us in your thoughts for games later in the week. We'll get at least 3 in, maybe even 4. I would love to be able to call that game tomorrow night, but the chances of that probably not very good with Roki Sasaki and Hiroya Miyagi going at it. We would love to be on the call for that, but I don't think that's going to work, as we'll be making a long drive back from Seattle tomorrow after the game. All right, everybody, once again, have a great night. We will look forward to seeing you later in the week on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon.